We na say me dem we am yes.
Kosuano.
Nisika. Ade.
Daben.
Ye nisika.
Daben.
Me ma me beka o
Ka.
We di afra.
Ka. Me di na afra. Ka me say mama ho kwa me say ka.
We di afra.
Wa.
E na bobo afa we ni so.
Afa me mani so.
We so be to be the nisika wa dog. Hey. Now dey kakra ti. We di no wadwe mas we di afa.
Sa.
We be bu akoyo say
yo
oni mi say na ko ye adwuma be be say o man send this kind man hu
na wo dey ayo dey
na scanner afa mi say me say me am dia madi na m ko na say muntua me ko say tua date we ko ya me so me dey budget so
scanner etira o mo ye artisans no o man full payment on pay because o man full payment no do you na o pendi ha
there's no motivation
it's we man 30%. O ya no so we have bi
ayo
man na dey we say be balance ni ahwe
sao mate
say
bibi ho essence ya balance ya dey be balance
you balance sheet no e bia
anyway good to see you my brother
and ya me hu watch
pa na what to say
nyame adaroma adom na dom ye eja divine selection one am chire say kanwa na odi na sia menya
kama nyankopon okay Dr. Angra
mi na na ya
teacher ni krachi ni papa
o san ekuye ni
asa ken Ghana mpreko yemfo nyina hene
mpacho mi ndiro
na what to say
nyame dia cheye Father Okan so chia
Father Okan me geneso do me geneso
Father Okan
such a gentle priest
weekend we over tienka
benefactors weekend no say do me kra me home diocese go my friend ntimako tepamanfo for benefactors a celebration week celebration
over Peace FM na BBC one kan ho asema okra wa fomra enti wo ye Roman ni mapa wo ye obi a ope Roman asore na asem wo ye obi a ope Roman asofo ahwe ntete ye de ma enye adwuma ketwa na emra kodu se ye yi ntoboa nkakra de boa in the training of our priests enti weekend ebe yesre adofo nyina Romani mapa bia bra o de bia yenim se wo be ko program ha ne ye ho se ye mass wedding ye nyamre pi enso wo de fa ho na odu asifa do kan ni kakra mikura ni eje na mo fa ntete asofo no say mo bag mienu na obenya wo de fa bra
ehiambo krasa okosotium just go and see your parish priest na ka chere say
wo donate
sa envelope we donors intention enkosotium en ha hu say okosotium
ti si aye wo ha miracles mejeno ansana yakọ meka na no bi a
dabi eno no de
asoya for a bo
eno no de efi na komam
asoya for a bo party na ne nyanya me de
eno no de ya na efi ono na komam
de wo se enye ne di na na ya asoya for na yetia
asoya for a body
enye miracles ya dance roma fu
nyama ankofo de toto ya kwemu no enye afore na aka bananka ya patre da
so what he believes in the blessings of giving
na wo afore ni wi a na wo de akoma pa bo wi a
enshira womba
aka nyina wo ebe won
ya me ka sem bi kire ma sorry Holy Trinity Catholic Church me ka kire o mo say sika wo ba sorry a wo de beto offering and I say wo de be bo nyame adwuma no emedu asori de manzana ya ka say offering town no ahwe osika yenye ne sa
na sa na wakwa hwe ketu ewom no
Saturday no a o prepare ho for no no wasiesie ho nyina dada nti wo medu ho wonim de wo be ye dada o si mu ana chese wo na wo kora nya afi na wo bedwene ho because wonim de wo be ye dada nti o prepare ansa na wa ba pa
enti egusu ebo nkaye se obi bia mra na omeboa na yenyi kakra mfa training asofo
enum de eboa pa eboa
so for ye training ni mfie dodu o say oko medical school ku ananka wa wi anisa
one check 10 years
so na obaso na okasa otumu say nimdie no wosoro pa
sa so vodie no woni mu nko ade a
abei
woni mu nko ade a
afore body na ye o
oh yeah
afore boy
just at the on tiasie
o ye ne o ma bebre
ma kan bible kan there's only one portion of culture say it washes away our sins. Charity washes away our sins.
Now, which is very true.
And there many be of what send ya miracles can send ya doya kakra ya sebi nka ya ntiasio because Daniel, ya wo bia wasase so bia nipa ni brewo.
Ye church yen
the evil intentions of people.
Uni bi fie ama ye church no say enne no fi se no pa wo ko no niam ye yi fi wa ko mu ni a. E ka wa che no ba wo bie.
Sanity.
Wa ye kra wo fie kra be tu obi afifiri ho na. Enda fe bo. Enti enyame adom pa na Daniel. Ye de nam nti aforen de. Unya na de bia manyame. Unya na de bia manyame.
Me de.
Oman komona ye de.
Me say me say me jim market ya na me yi de be ko fie na me yi de be konkola na school na se kama koma se me mfa de aka ni nyina mo afode a me bo me hwe machi
ubenya se
oh and na me mo so because me hwe anim se me nya hyem at me bo because me nim say de osoro na ne din te me bo no
aba
obehwe me
onu aba
no no ade no watua manyame wi school fees nkra papa ko ba for school nkra rebe fees all the car na nkole akwa trade am se wie unya de akoshim afone de nda fam nkra o
me wo prayer topic ba kwa ya da bia me lead prayers ameka me say de nyame ase for niema oyema wa unim you see things are oyema yen things he does on our behalf that we have no idea. Oda e unim de bae no an se wa sorry. Unamwa ukwa ne se ukwa no drive kumase no akwa aba aha no akwa aba. Nanu zo bi tuka zo ko teshi he ya.
So obi afa so a wanu.
Eno krampo wa teshi he ya madam fu bi tuka o ha teshi he ya. Wa anko be 3 kilometers kra apan. Wo.
Onim se minya accident bi wo Ashin Chapel enim ho na ya. Uhu ka na onka se na nipatim. Nso nyame adomara kwa.
Tell Dennis the commitment to the church must be the same to journalists. Tell him
why na to
say. Tell Dennis the commitment to the church
women be fi
must be the same to journalists. Tell him Charles Techi Buadu.
Okay, because
the Choco Jack Chine. Choco Jack Chine. We are Moasi Ninja. I said so. No sacrifice greater than that of that in a political kingdom. And that's one for you.
Charles Techi Buadu.
Okay,
so organizing harvest.
Say hi to the pork operator for me. Ozuni maybe
Debbie.
Honorable Carlos Kingsley Ahenkra.
Oh, Carlos me penas mama ba me buofun.
Ade.
Carlos me obi a me my year me de niam gugu akoma me koy campaign man ma set ya bibia so onko bio.
Fabo an na be.
He's a fine gentleman.
Then gade ko bo an fabo an be onam sisi ano.
Oh,
eno ano no.
Carlos is a fine gentleman.
Se ofiri wakoma me se gade ko bo ano. Enti be onam no fabo ano. Ana man kan yi.
Oye nipa o. Carlos ye nipa o.
Carlos Kingsley Ahenkra.
Nipa. He's na osa bunipa so.
Please, I hear there is a change. No, Dabi Akumi, it's still the same. Nothing has changed. It's still the same. Why? And what you say? And the Honorable Carlos Kingsley Ahenkra no pay him watching.
A child baby will be
honorable boy lie.
Boy
Lie also so yeah watching. Now son I'm coming for a bidding come on. Happy 59th birthday to Mrs. Charity Vanderpoy, who was Senate Hospital Ewusu. Information Desk Department Unia Atokwamena Esando our UTV or say yamau happy birthday. Also so oh dear enono. Afi Helena Ejei uwa kutunse akraha Ben ere do 4 eno Helena also so ukunu do 4 ene obaru se J se yemfa happy birthday sonko emau ena afi so Dr. Atapenyin uwa Pentecost University Quality Assurance eno efri oyere ene oma akusue sapon nti yankopon enkam ho na bibia efri oyere oma ene akusue sapon yankopon kam ho na bibia enye kama so emfa emamo. And then the last one says happy 71st birthday to Comfort Edu aka Auntie Connie of Koforidia from your children Nat Echo Nanaya Shelly Dazi ena onana num nyina afi or say kindly wish Madam Eno Furiata a blessed birthday for me. Enti mo ayabobo mudin nyina so happy birthday. And also to Okay, all right. We makara. Dodangra.
Enia nanayo.
Ano pay me pesa me no free nkomodwetwen yase. Niema ewo me pono so round 1 no SMLGRA ena afei dumso mutisen ene hade. Etim pesa me hweba bia pesa ode fa no pay.
De I mean shase o SML ene GRA contract no. I mean tie for no pay. The amiase say wa mayenkwa. Na no pay ye ne mo ba bedi nkomo. Ya dwendwene o my Ghana ho. Na ne enche bia ma me fan free ase se enyuma pi ehya ase wo man mu enkanka ne ankorankora nyuma a enipa bi bo wom trimpo se ombe ma nyuma na gu ana ombe gu hu fi ama niema aye basa akoso na me bi se wo enye bia ye nim se wo bia adwuma na ofa nipa miensa kora also obuama Ghana oman no ya chechire amana akonanim because to pay salaries for even 3 people is not a joke. Enipa bi mu ne ye omo fe ne ne ye omo dene se obi abi adwuma na omo begu adwuma nanim ase. Esi Ghana the whole country ye ko IMF ye per 3 billion na no menye we mendidi ahomache na menum suo ehun mra bebre. And so one person in Nigeria we see oil refinery costed $7 billion. Nipa ba kope. And Dangote was made. We know. Yakofa bronise ome kochi blaster. Fisika yedemano. Yafa Ghana ni minim kura mahubi. Sike akono minim ska ne yedemano. Abrofo no ba ye nim ska ne yedemam. Enti ye de yempe. Broni de odeba eye. Anase onia onya Ghana ni no be ye no nya sika no de kwa. Hwe Ghana nyuma bebre akese dodo na nya Ghana afo dia omye adwuma na no nya sika na o ma san se san dia call foreign currency no omde ko ewi ani yesu na we was ro na we rate was ro nipa no mfiri ha no onya sika bebi open no de sika ko enti ekoba ne sen ese aban agency GRA oye investigation kakra oni ensen young omo ye audit report and omo hu say through the Ministry of Finance omo nyina hu say there could be under reporting, under declaration, and then potential revenue leakages. Ghana isika esese nka oman ye nya no enyunu efa baabi eniema nyuma nkofo ya ankabema oman no yaje omoto ne de aye oman na adwuma no saa sika nyina won susu se sika no ebetumi enwunu na ansusu ampa enwunu fa baabi dia na ebe de anya sika de abo oman ho bra enti omukọ engage SML me no kasa no permit hey me come in semester me nim SML owners me hu omda me nim om office na so se eye Ghana ni adwuma se Ghana ni o se Ghana fo na biye na se eye mra kwan so ko dia eze se ye kan nokre ekire ye ho se bibi ena oma ye na anya so a eno so ye nka ena se sebisabo ye Ghana ni nti wo ye bibi na enya ebebu ye ni agusu no. President issue statement and luckily for me President ne go for no mo ye adwuma no panyi pa ba ko temensa benkum so wa ha. President first point or Troye through KPMG findings was say no technical needs assessment was done prior to the engagement of SML. However, such an engagement was not legally required for engaging SML.
Do Troye then?
Anyamenam Troye President dan mo Troye no mdiaba. Enti if it was not legally required there, na sabi hono onfom mra say esese nkom de adwuma no magiyare na ukan kwase ho ba bia o say o ma nya PPA approval ansa na o ma de adwuma no ma SML. On 27th August 2020 PPA ratified the procurement process used to engage SML. PPA ratified. Enti ne na sese o mo ye na o ma anye no o mo ba ebeji tum. Now we can do the same point 2 no na asia ho no say na anka SSA as stated by section 33 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921 na SSA anka such a contract no enya ministerial and parliamentary approval na sa GRA ama contract na o se anka minister and or the approval or the ne sa hye na wo wie na minister na send the parliament na wamfa nkwa. How do you blame SML? SSA nka minister at that time Mr. Oforiata na o se nka no ma approval no we are was send their parliament e mo mama approval.
Wow, body
onu anya na adwuma na na ampacho anopa we are in good mood Mr. anya me body kra I was saying ko ye adwuma 1 year he slept on the job and ama sa niema we pi niema esisi no pi o ho through onwa niema inactivity o said there be niema esese onye I'm being constrained with my choice of words adwuma esese nko ye no wanye ama ye kwa kodu ba bi ayadu enti esese nko no de ko no wanfa nko na say GRA ama na adwuma no oya. How do you blame SML? GRA na kasa ni sa to me no na o se nka minister na no wanye hwase ho 0.5 or say KPMG determined the audit firm that there was an incremental volume of 1.7 billion liters and an incremental tax revenue of 2.45 billion Ghana cedis. Wow, incremental tax revenue. Inti senya SML ankasa sika we. Sebio nka ma aban futuom. Na 2.45 billion wodi madwuma betumi aye o man mu. Ye ni madwuma sa sika we ke betumi aye. Na yati o yamo muska o na adwuma omo nye yamo omo huska. President na ni communicate say adwuma no nia onye ye no ye man ka preba. Why are we spreading falsehood say adwuma na onye ne fa bi a onye ye tua wonka. President report ni KPMG na tro na president ni sa hye say ni adwuma ese so omo ye no na ka ya chichechichem ba ko wo ho a na ese so omo ye man ne niama sa niama no onyan hyase ye man niska bia ye gonya no say ye be kasi ya manipa niska na ya mo muska enti ye hwe niama bi ye say ye benya sika na ne dodo last week Jombodu was say ye sika dodo na ye benya gisagiare na state owned enterprises na state owned enterprises na sika na ma GRA say awukọ port pa eniema na nke ye krabo mem eso ti ate no nti abenya ska me no mi enu ye san betra be kase sueduro to adwuma kokwan enye papa yenye sa me no mi enu ye ba be kase interchange na o ma gya agu for a long time na say no say aboso kan di o ma hyase ye hu adwuma sika sam when no person onya permanent site aka we start project bia say o wie ni aka say we ni we na aye sika sam enti institution ebe boawo na watumi enya sika na ade abo man no brand obi pese oboni trimu po se oba ko kan service bia ade a enim ana ade a enya nokre no de agu nipa no adwuma ho fi o de just give it a try ko bie adwuma na bosome nso na wontua o peyi taxes se so otua wontua na obehu kwan asenetefo ne ada agencies ne de obefa so na obi company afi bia akra PPA certificate onya renewal on value returns. It's not easy to run a company in this country. Now they are here say yes see a boy humusuo say ye bekwa ko cancel contract na hwesi kadro say etua ma esema. Na o twam na obeboka ene say wontwam na wobenya sika no. De he nanka ye. Aya yam tu abu ase kakra na me na me di kan hu ya me ko kan ye no eno e fa hwema o. Si egu obi hu fi. Ene ya mrew. Na o wi ofo nsa na wa hwe nsa o me sika enwunu o mu asabi na o mu nya so mfaso o mu ana esa sika yi nka be fa o mu nsa ase ana kogu o motom no san kwofo ni nyina enya o mu de say ese mbe be ya adwuma no enya o mu de wo enti let's be careful a bit and let's be circumspect say ye de mirika ko kan sema ya o ni amom $100 million. This report did not say so, and by this miracles okwa nanka wasre president say ye nyina e panicho omi enya KPMG full report no omi enya ni enkan yanka sasu ye kan we de e ono a woni tumi obetumi de aye no de aye we agree na mo ma KPMG ro ni nyina yenkan one by one ye kan ni yesan ase ni enye no ye beka na mom me emphasis ni say PPA approval wenya, but it was ratified. Inti no we ye no afri ho. Ensanka wonya ministerial approval. And now wonya parliamentary approval. Ese se obi na ye. It is Ken Ofori-Atta anya the current finance minister say so oya of anko parliament don kwaji approval. Na se nka foreign agency and as a company na be adwuma wo ya na anhwe anka sa se mu ipo nkeyente. Ba Ghana ninti yengu no fi yengu na adwuma susu ampa say ye can impact dia answer no buy no sika say na ne yenya. The report says 1 billion liters yehu billion Ghana cedis yenya
eno kra no sa liters no kra kan SML for no they have debunked that just to help the discussion.
Sure.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute, I'll come back to it. Okay, President ne buy no spokesperson the buy now.
Yeah.
Point 5.
Okay.
Regarding the downstream petroleum audit services, KPMG determined that there was an incremental volume of 1.7 billion liters and an incremental tax revenue of 2.45 billion for the period under review. There were also qualitative benefits, including a 24/7 electronics and so.
Okay.
These services as a deterrent serves as deterrent for other under declarations. Other qualitative benefits include 6 levels of reconciliation done by SML. On that point 5, this is what SML is saying under item 8 on their press release. SML disagrees with KPMG's finding regarding the realized petroleum volumes and tax revenues realized as a result of compliance tools that led to the increased volumes. During the audit, KPMG used NPA's ESLA volumes to evaluate the performance of the downstream petroleum to determine GRA's tax revenue. SMLA strongly contended in writing to KPMG during its audit that NPA's ESLA's volumes are lifting or trading volumes, but not GRA's taxable volumes. SML further contended that NPA's ESLA volumes cannot be used for performance computation. SML, together with the GRA, submitted to KPMG that the taxable volumes are properly evident in the Bank of Ghana's petroleum tax revenue receipts in its petroleum holding account. SML provisions within a sector showed a drastic monthly average increase of 207,885,058 liters to 450,175,163 in taxable volumes for the periods January to December 2019 and May 2020 to April 2021 respectively. Thus translates into 10,308,536,872 in excess gains and volumes and excess revenue of 14,844,293 Ghana cedis, 95 pesos. Thus, significant increase in monthly average taxable volumes of 450 million liters has been sustained over the past 3 years, and it cannot be said that the increased volume is only 1.7 billion.
So, from 207 to 450, that's over 100%. That's over what when put there, what they say they got the figures wrong. But near what president statement 2.45 billion, and yes, let's even assume because Sanka KPMG no me name the scope because the president never children say adwuma ye way enti president you no chire no eno no dey ye adwuma. Let's even assume say near omo ye they even had some limitations, but kakra no dey aba no kra chire say adwuma no omo ye no omo na nya so mfaso enya mfaso na ye pe enti say bibi enya oho a omo aka yes if it has to be corrected they have to near say omo twam president say omo twam near say omo ye renegotiation ni nyina waka. But se susu ampa ni SMF for dia bay 14 billion and o maboa mo aba no wanye bia ma wase a osa ayenede
baby utie we answer na do asem na ba wi a haka kra su beboa say it's about 1 billion an average of 1 billion KPMG for say SMF for benya yearly no now or say SMF for say SML finds that KPMG's failure to state Ghana Revenue Authority's taxes of 31.5% taken before payment, interest payments of 32% plus the investment repayment made by SML and other taxes, duties or other period create a very unbalanced impression of the relationship between the compensation and the investment and other related costs. Omo no say sikabia omane dema omo no. Ghana Revenue Authority tax of 31.5%. Asa ne de akana ama omo. And they say assuming bozenka 1 billion na omo kan no munya, GRA will take 35% out of that. Asa no musaka. So how does that become 1 billion again?
So now we hear president 0.5 here can here 24/7 electronic real-time monitoring, real time. The nyasa na obi abonani na yetwe bibi fa baby o 24/7 hida to ni obi bisa na obi time open no twam time open no de ade ne ba enti yentu ebo ase me de me ka se bibi wo ho a se asoman ye ya na ebe boa ma SM adwuma na yenya so mfaso. Let's do it. After all, this is not the first time institution bi aye adwuma ma oman no. Ena sabi nyasi yetua ni sika bi da baby yesi adwuma na oye no. He is paid on commission. Ni ono boa ma oman ni nya na yetua no. President akofeda through KPMG report was say yamon fees rate. Mayen ka say ebia because I know they do baby a ebe ma oman na boka because oyema service ko 14 billion. Ni yesi a man percentage ebia na oman na atua sika ni bi. I don't put me nka ha me because oye adwuma na yetua no hoka. Adwuma no a lot of institutions say commission sales commission on sales into do out the no can show nkran say me yire me ho ma de na kosoro because e kosoro amenya so mfaso na go say flatter mo me hwe ni ye a hoso kakra because me yo manyo sa amount we menya. What will be the motivation? If and do you no so be relax kakra. Let's be careful because sometimes me service in the end no we say you are losing more than you would have earned. So what you say? Enti say on my Ghana susuampa adie ni ehia na. And the answer is yes. Yehia no omo ba na adwuma no oma yam yenya so mfaso ana. Yes. Na emom eniema ba kumienu bi wo ho na enya as a country. Let's correct it. But yentu yebo ase say kakra ye di mirika ko kan sema enim sanka eye minim. That's why I'm being constrained. Say KPMG etumi engage SML engage GRA no muhu the real figures here. So ampa ebianka niema na president kura ka say yentu ebo asemi emfa mom ebianka beka say emfa mom. So one farm what the bema hwan? Who has the expertise? Because adwuma oma ye all these years ema o man nya so mfa so dia. Why not? Nia why ni ye ni e de bi ka no ho. Enti yantu ebo ase. Ni ehwe yemwa. This is not the only area. There are a lot of areas of mine no sika enyunu. Yentumi emmo ye bra ye nyina sabi obi tumi sori be kire tama ye sori tama ye na tama ye nidi ni ade nyina. Ni nyina ye ohia asem. Enti ye sika kakra na eba no. Si betumi aboa ni agege ni ye ni de ayo man adwuma. So be it. But monto mo bo ase say mo nia munim ye momubi. And that is what we are known for. Say ye gu obi hu fi. Say ye say obi adwuma. To bo ase na obi bi. Na sa bo so me miensa untumi ntua wo workers car. Obeti ase. Na ne amedase.
Eso so me dase. If you penny be do to my man akwa bada. Happy and so. Prof.
Yes sir.
Prof akwaba.
Ye jo hene ba.
Ampacho apumwe.
Apum de nkeye.
Na aka de aka no.
Yetumi abedru de net say ye.
Na me de de bibia in time.
Amfa motrimo den.
Aka de Dennis mo de be so no. Prof and Gavin didn't watch him in ever come.
So mutie mo dia.
Omuti and also me answer no. Hey, already. That is. SML no sense. And doom so politics and no papa.
No crepa ne say Dr. Nakasa. I check di ma fa line by line. Me ba no para na mu say doc crepa ne paper. No sense I see fa line by line okra ohwemu no asensan. E be din say betumi adi bia aka ho ana so.
Okay.
Me dia me ka fa SML hu nyina ne say eto de bia. Yentu ye boa sika. na ewiase mu especially nya yewo media aye new opportunity ekasa wo radio so TV so na ye news no yen kan hu say ya no a second of enu it can unmake and make people and we should be easy when it comes to excitement to go to town with false or misleading. I'm used to misleading info. Misleading for say opinion yepe. Was that person you sure? Misleading
false there just
false just no correct. Misleading is
misleading is ma obi akoye bibi e wo bra nentesa.
Yeah. And I was saying e come here say on my way mo ade ba ko
o can force the mislead no ade ba ko ka me Professor Yekumbe ka say overextension of the truth. And our prof, yes sir,
that's one of the definitions of lying.
Oh, okay.
Extension of the truth.
I think say in this particular SNL matter me fair no because you see the bia me come and say me say no credit draw SEO information bia or the man bia metumi adana no metumi ma me pese no kra metumi ma na look say no kra
okay
me pese ye ntro so a metumi ma na look say ntro entina borfo mo say context context is very 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 important and we are seeing my godfather His Excellency Afridonko or say with the benefit of hindsight everybody is wise. That's the bia some catch me no with the benefit of hindsight everybody is wise. Okay. Asemna bewie ne de obie ni mu nyansa se yetie ye ka se ye pe nipa ba ko o man we mu na why English to Twi translation am ya ebe de se ebe ka se ye pa professor ho ni akofo bi foforo but you be surprised say immediately ye be pa professor se ono me ye se adwuma ne pe obi ba se na mo professor Jukum the bio kasa radio sitirem so no kwa no titwi hwe akoye wa Harvard wa say twi o city ade na use wo no with the benefit of hindsight Daniel everybody is wise. And I always say when it comes to procurement and engagement of services Daniel e den say obefre obi in kontomponi because at the time of procurement you were not at the table. Enti eya no ato bo ase yeti ye ratip to loans is here ubetumi akoto phone 50 Ghana obi be kwa akoto 1002 sabi eno nche se wono wadwin so eno nche se wadwin so akra na mu de akoto 50 no e wo de enti otumi nya 50 sambre no ena wo de enti awon so ko e wonya 1002 eno nti na Ghana ha even departmental stores kra ko e bi wo ha ye dia no Inti Ghana heti we obi bo price ma obi a o so last yesayin o last yesayin okay part of our whether we like it or not sana ye di edwa inti businessman bia nim say or be bo price a obe negotiate inti ade na 1002 a obo 3005 and 1006 ni ateso inti ye di ano na ano e bia me metumi ni di ano from 1006 a ni abedu 1002 e bi so a na ya unso betumi akodi ano na ba 800 ma wotumi konya 800 a eno nkyere se sebe ma bokro no ana medi bono
e betumi so abase time a wo duru ho no na ya friend se ne bayare o peska da akola na hospital a hwi ni fie because with the 500 craft abra na memfa
obi na ma no akonya asase wo is lego 50,000 series o because adano na asase wura no edge 50,000 series akoya na the only time for eniano
true
obi so na ma yese fa car beje the same land out on 50,000 no obi atobi wo nchen wa $500,000
yeah
enti the mere fact say you see the thing on the face value no doesn't mean say obetumi use we no a pass judgment on the integrity and credibility of people masa one better make no offer SML report here me the America won hu nyina ne say ye wa basobodie bia ye fama omampeni na nadran kwekufado the fact that assembly buy no one so na one ka say asem we aba na mate committee na me the miracle say committee chair munko hwehwem na mo o say KPMG And ya KPMG for unu so mo no obi en control mu. Omo report dem mo ye wi a answer no be release no. E call global headquarters. So global headquarters omo fa an here. No maka so osuro wunti. Oba bi bia ma. KPMG enum kasa nyina na ne do kaka yi. I don't want to repeat their dog kaka no. But aba me fa e wo report ni mu no na ne ye de di kan. Enye no credit based on KPMG funds mo de bayi. On person mo kire say fourth estate for report on the buy on SML no omu transfer that it is never true say SML was given a 10-year contract. There is no 10-year contract. Doc, say that's what KPMG is saying. So that's the number one thing we need to establish. Because see, there was a deliberate twist of the issues to make the Ghanaian owned company SML no look bad. But in a report here be grammar be technicality. We are going to lose sight of the fundamental issues now.
And there is no $100 million anyway.
And then number two, there was never any $100 million paid to SML. Into Anyabia 4th Estate 4. Omukofa sa figures every. Why do we do this to ourselves? Hwenim gwa so mo de gu omo edu baby kwa mo say company no kra dey mo say company bi omo body omo say omo ye adwuma foforo bi so omo ya agree ko say bi. They tried, you see, it was a deliberate orchestration to let the company look bad. That was a strategy. And first of all, answer no me bad way so kra no omo shall see if the fact that company no kra no only expertise ese so de yes adwuma we na omi refi obi ka on kai me na omo ka adwuma bi a eno na company no eye na me pig. I have a pig farm. I me catfish farming, me onion farming, me marketing and advertising business. It is a chinebi. Me nya adwen chinebi say Professor Jekum a obi enum so oye okuni ni awotwi mu. Oye available a obetumi na ye adwuma. Na ma register consultancy in whatever language, whatever translation. Let me say, Prof, whatever ma brani ye adwuma. It's because me a pig farmer me to me be another business. Na me fa ye adwuma.
Tick plantation, right?
Na that's why omo nya salt. Omo nya tea.
Fufu.
Omo nya fufu.
Ya ben kwan.
Omo say any radio station.
Yes, ya ben.
Na ka radio station na dey fufu for omo. That principle, that analogy now say we want to me we no. And na me dwun ha me ntia say.
Na me nu ya banche.
Aye, once I am a pig here.
Aye, and I'm saying,
but on media kuku.
Exactly.
Media by
why do we we share documentary now? Omukofa,
tick plantation.
Yeah, omukofa, omukofa tick export no. So a company tick export.
In fact,
now expertise when omukakoye. Now
that is me anu see SML papa there humanian there no. Ghana I mean sure so be a tick plantation channel. The whole Ghana. The sure.
No, here or the who see an answer there over here.
Says Autism Professor Jakumu on pen
because you see, oh, yeah,
oh no,
that's the point I'm making. Say, and then, doc, all I need for the economy and the economics and the governance. Me a governance expert, but me to me nyeska. Na ma ko be governance consultancy firm. Na me to me CSM. Na ma throw proposals. Na ma fa say brane ye dwuma. Na yanya governance consultancy must I be a governance expert? All I need is to get the right people in my business.
Radio.
Radio.
Doesn't matter.
So that's
as the radio na professor better national.
Exactly. Oh yeah, radio. And no wa fa mo am journalist am expert am mo adwumi. Obi afufui me ye so kofa nutrition for ne mo ye food engineers am mo be ye. Why do we do this to ourselves? And when you wake up in the morning, that was the headline. Tick export company giving multi-million contracts to do quality assurance. As if, say, and then misleading, no? That is the over-extension of the truth. Yes, it is true that he's in tick plantation. But it doesn't negate the fact that he can open a quality assurance business. Because all he needs to do is to go and source for their expertise and come now. Businesses are more Ghana. Omodudu saying, "No, we are expert in those fields." Businesses are what Ghana. Omodudu saying, "And they are expert in those fields." Why do we do this to ourselves? And at the team akuma kran say, "We are no." Now, what should that deliberately a cookie figures? Because right now, KPMG reporting into incontrovertible. There is no argument about the fact that there was no 10-year contract. And there is no argument about the fact that there was no $100 million your friend is saying paid to SML. KPMG reports and they say there is no duplication of work with respect of the work of the National Petroleum Authority. It's established in the report.
Sure.
It is also established, say, in the award of the contract in 2023, the consolidated contract, it was done following due process. Now, I did about quite young for say, yeah, them brand the teacher of mine. You can say, yeah, procurement in public sector. Procurement law, no, as amended. Sa law, no, and a year the year, Juma. It will farm na process be a one law, the one, and mammy who can say, me to me, you so. Now, me there a particular procurement at a time, no, me to me the year. It is not up to you to come and tell me, say, I don't know, me use sole sourcing. Is the sole sourcing illegal? It is not up to you to come and ask me, say, I don't know, me use international competitive bid. Is the international competitive bid illegal? You can only raise concerns and say, oh, I did wait there. Me jidi say nka your governance expert be 10-20 bi anka beti ma mo kwan. But you cannot use the fact that me kofa doc nko and me ya praising na me the man nti me di bone. That cannot be correct.
Then check ya dey bi wa SML for response no. 0.6 the other one 0.6. Na third and fourth paragraph. 1.6 no. Third and fourth paragraph. Na hwade.
SML observes that KPMG makes similar findings regarding the external price verification services. SML rejects KPMG's observation that ICOMS has inbuilt capabilities for external price verification.
Last one.
SML is an independent assurance audit firm contracted to audit ICOMS, assess the Customs Technical Services Bureau on classification and evaluation, and edit the values accordingly. ICOMS cannot audit its own operations. SML services provide extra oversight when it comes to classification and evaluation.
But the earlier I say adwuma no a SML no
I contribute me.
That
is what I am saying.
That is
the point I am making. So they created an impression say obi e bokron no
ni adwuma onye ni etua no
ai ena omo wie no komo san twato nipa no say yetua wo sika bi na enye no kra. And you remember say SML for the kind by say yeah man yesike bi aye. I am telling you say but for KPMG's report by now this Ghanaian owned company will be struggling to do business anywhere in the world. But for KPMG report it will be struggling to do business anywhere in the world. Only the area we have some of these same people yes I know my way on some companies but they don't do on others. That is another
can help you.
I want to hear on my way my yam.
Yes.
On my way na na make us intro ehwehwe ni mu. Eni kokofu bobo. A take center stage in Libya.
Kokofu nti ese oje copyright.
From what imagine you people who parade themselves as saints in this country, they choose and pick.
And what can you hear about man can say?
Or head there. I say we ebro, we say we share a beans.
Ebro nin katie.
Beans. We say beans answer ben one we yi. Na wo fa beans no enye bo nko na we yi. Beans na ebi wa ho pipe na ho produce we yi. Na mo wo hwe na wa pick. You choose and no to bo ase. Na dey yi. So these same people, yes, I report it. We can all attest to people that they owe loyalty to in this country. For the sake of some individuals, I don't want to mention, but they are making obianim. Everybody in our space, everybody that follows politics in this country, individuals in this country, these same people will never even discuss their issues. Another Ghanaian owned company. Another Ghanaian owned business doing business in Ghana, legitimate business in Ghana. Ugun any masse.
Oka company wa bro ni ba ko kra o.
Ugun any masse.
Abi before angola wan
ko. Ugun any masse.
That angra size kra ni.
Ugun any masse.
Na wo be hwe no.
Kaba, we wo be hwe no kaba bi. On my way mo. So bi hia na ochia o good morning na hwe wechi na hwe se bi obi foforo no ochia na so waje so. Me se wo be hwe no. And now kabao bi pa ejuma we omu ye ekoti omu
of course we
wait any news oh It happens all over the world. Okay, Nigeria, they will tell you one of the reasons why their energy crisis has thrived over years. Hey, your mom with the generator, any solar power about Nigeria,
and individuals at home.
Connivance, cabalism, cartel. Now they knew my way, even fuel stations between ton or fuel 3 cedi 4 cedi lesser than the others. Other than you to be cut off for every the same market. Near the banner, a bimu to me agree, Saturday near the better. Now your forest exchange, $1 you create. And now, wouldn't say cabalism, cabal, cartel, contribute to 30 to 40%. Quite gone. Nakachom so says, come is $1 anyhow. You better hold this kind businessman, I saw a transfer. A common supply is 12 p.m. About 11:30. I feel the Oba was you. Me want $500,000 be paying a war, but you see, you want to member 14 cedi. That is what we do to ourselves in this country. All these people, you see people and institutions like this that will be protecting them. It's a big problem for us in this country. And to me advisor, me Ghana for say, always go and read the story behind the headlines. Always read the story behind the headlines. Why you would constantly Uber looking stupid all the time. You can imagine the number of people who followed these things when they came up. A buy story you buy a face. Omo yahu trailer. A boy trailer about 3-4 days. A year yahu near mass chemists be. Some of the story na kasa dey eba people bought into it ebi kura wonya akoma yare because of ade we because be was enti me hwe me kwan say na me kwan say asay pa na atam sika say amani pa ba kon which wasn't true the first ke bia sa mo bia ye jaisa so bia boni a yenka ba ye jaisa ye hye to ye bo ahye dem mu e chekere boni orchestration of evil against our fellow citizens no problematic. I have never commented on this SML matter. Never spoke on it because I never knew the story behind the headlines. I give thanks. What he has done, it's a testament to the kind of person that he is. Say, in a kofa KP, a lot of boldness in a bit to me penny. I take his decision. You need a lot of boldness, confidence, courage. As I went to me, I can say, as same way Abama Bemu, into Memfa, a friend is saying,
am I independent
audit firm? And your audit firm, KPMG. And then KPMG for no my mother.
Baby,
I am on comedy ho to say, Bia. You bet me into then you bet me have found who. Was I Ghana the boy because we did a bit to have found. And the kept him then you bet me have found you. No more than no we and the baby now cry virtual system based do. One can sacra audit in the year or the two. Ain't it Nanado to take that decision with that courage to pursue this no. And no ade bakwa me tuche day. Emano SML asemi baye the way omo my bosso. Edu baby cry papa dey say we dwane if your mind we because of SML. And I review.
Like I Reverend Dr. Amishada.
Omo ko find the picture and then the map picture beto Twitter. Say abanya boa no ama na dwane if your mind we mu. Sami Okudjota Blakwa. He did that. Sami Okudjota Blakwa picked the GRA commissioner, put him on his Twitter page and said he has we dwane for my now me say me kind Twitter poster Sami Okudjota Blakwa yeah. You will be amazed. Opening, you will be amazed. And I ask myself, say, why do we do that to ourselves? Say, dear mpa na wope, entia ebema penimua or ye nejuma. Na odi abua o man no, wobetumi egu nenim asesa. Say, adenti no mampeni edi ejuma ma KPMG so mo investigate na GRA peni no edwane efi o man ni mu. O say we dwane o. We dwane and then look at us.
Only a protozo say Jebrofu we can the all can selective amnesia.
Selective amnesia no say o choose one o sheda eni da ho e ma o refi ni amani bi. Ai wa eni da ho na wa sheda man say we dem refi man kai we dem hu ye we dem hu. That is our problem. And ultimately if we don't fix this, what we are doing to ourselves and say Naniao, yes, same crofoding, a gun crofoduma. A lot of our media guys have become mercenaries. Mercenaries. Oma yes, ama, a papa ne woman crano. Sisi ya who am I edding? They've become mercenaries. They are for high. They are for the highest bidder. Utumi bobo esikaka krano. Now kunyana ushiana. Now nene kasa. Not why ye the opamo. Enti yes set it or kusiani pano na set ya to ho. For weeks they will be programming and planning. So we'll bring this guy down. You bring him down. We'll bring this guy down.
No, we are
not. There, Yana say. To say make us our piece FM and opinion. Obi tie me echina on tie piece FM. It is a make at the bonefa obi ho a or there to the team. Ade echina obe correct here. On be tie enti on te. Enti nei omo GSM on throw we twi etu mu. Omo share documentary yi a omo nya akomayare enya nipa bi ho adwembone. Omo a yede Reverend Amishadai to Twitter egu ne ho fi egu n'anim ase. Say we took why we wieska why your friend is saying proye ne kankan ne ade no onne no so omo ntie ya they will never know say anano asem omo tefa asem ne giare ho enye no kre egu papa ne ase. In fact omo kan say SML ntimpo na papa no man pani ayi den apamo no. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Hajia Amafrempon or say Director Miracles ada money ene honhom money nko a
nie motumfo kaka pepe principalities and powers the bro for no same no principalities and powers
dominion authority principalities
terrestrial spirit we say your metaphysics we call Legon first philosophy Phil 101 and no change say there are certain things beyond the physical. Metaphysics, you know. There are people beyond the physical world. Metaphysics. Ebine sanya me ya yediye yehu. Enti anadwuna ya dano, anadwu de suomuna ya dano. Then the people te ho echeche nyama because nania
almost a schedule.
If you come and tell me say you want me $100 million and you want me $100 million, ejuma na wahyehe. Clearly
unya information anyway.
Yes, and at the end also buy a crown. Miss Sanso be catch us and no crate. You should have taken your time, go through it, and come back. You still came back and rebutted, say they are making okano.
Cardinal, another painful part of the SML issue is that they made us waste money to hire KPMG. Something we could have done for free. We cannot build this country on hatred and jealousy. George Kwatin Ewo Adenta. Prof. So I have a garment shop, but I don't know how to sew. I cannot even put a thread into another hole. Does this disqualifies me from getting a sewing contract? This country and Kasa. Let me reserve the rest of my comment. Fawas in.
Mami kadi binjo. Opinion the other mami kwa mami kadi. Sami okuji tabla kwa. On almost about 10 pages. 10th January 2024.
Okay.
Twitter, you say come
X. Now X.
Or the airline flights log. You know they papa penimu Reverend Amishadai ebe to ho. Na ti do choye about SML adia o. Or say SML scandal. Why is Akufo-Addo Bawumia government pretending they haven't assisted the GRA boss and his family to run out of the country? Jesus Christ. This is and it's still there. And that's what I was talking about. It is still online. Or you know say, can the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government stop the despicable deception that they are seriously investigating the SML GRA scandal? President Akufo-Addo must immediately offer a sincere explanation to Ghanaians on the circumstances under which the commissioner of the GRA, who signed a dubious SML contract, was allowed to travel out of the country with his entire nuclear family less than 24 hours after Akufo-Addo's 2nd January 2024 press statement announcement, announcing that KPMG has been tasked to carry out urgent audit into the sleazy affair. I say my unimpeachable and irrefutable tracking of Reverend Amishadai reveals that on January 3rd, 2024, he led his family to swiftly and clandestinely leave the jurisdiction. Exactly a week ago, the entire Owusu-Amoah family departed at 5:10 p.m. on TAP Air Portugal flight TP1527 from Terminal 3, Kokrokoo International Airport. Reverend Amishadai used an ordinary Ghanaian passport issued on 14 January 2019, with its last 4 digits being 5283. Interestingly, the runaway GRA boss, did not travel with a service passport. A service passport which was issued to him by the GRA on 3rd October 2019. This development adds another layer of confirmation that Reverend Owusu-Amoah has not embarked on an official trip. Orieno say, Reverend Owusu-Amoah's first travel destination when they left Accra a week ago was Sao Tome and Principe, and continuous tracking appears to paint a picture of a family in no hurry to return to Ghana. That is, if they will ever return. It's a very long one. What you have done to this man, if you don't go and delete it, it's one delete here, for the rest of his life, and the rest of my life, Omu Google Papa Nidin Bia, this would come up as one of the stories about the man for the rest of their life. Now they are yakran say, Papa ni put the emphasis on call retirement or bonebra we be the money. Oko do Dallas Airport or Washington. Now you be so why your passport na you be so who are you visiting here? What are you doing here? How many days are you spending? Yeah, boy, you need Google. Yeah, boy, you need Google. Yeah, boy, you need Google. What do you do? Yeah, visa. What do you do? No, you Google that. That is why you can get to the airport. You have a visa, but they can still tell you say you cannot enter the country. Why are we doing this? Ne mano kope juma dachi. Yeah, but catch on say there was a time that your father eloped from your country. And maybe by your papa, a journey free in my mu. It's son say no I sika we di bone. Because you'll be the ranking member for Foreign Affairs Committee in the House of Parliament, the member of Parliament for the people of North Town. Why do we do this to ourselves as a people? What wrong did this man do? Bonnie Ben pa and a papi a ye. Bonnie Ben or ye. The M Yakran say contract to crime say Jamaican Sunny a corona crowd. Let me say only 2 days or 3 in office. Yeah. So what I say? Why are we doing this to ourselves? In a year, KPMG fire your investigation in a year. We say your unimpeachable and irrefutable investigation are false. I am contopo. I am true. I am boss. Are you coming back to come and apologize? And I know in everything I believe in this country, say they are not coming to apologize. You wait. In the next 2-3 days, almost a control statement. Be year somebody until I'm saying for some way by you know. Be year somebody in every this fundamental issues and so. Now for the one beka I don't know one quiet PPP approval. Parliamentary approval. I don't know one about parliamentary approval. After all, why did you do so sourcing? There are so many companies who can render the service. Allow us to do the quality assurance ourselves. We want to do an independent audit. We have people who will volunteer so that we can do the audit and check whether it is fit for purpose. They will never come back to this issue. And for the rest of the life of this man's children, Reverend Amishadai, for the rest of his life, Adewe ebe hanging on him online. And they AI, a friend is saying artificial intelligence. You want to find you Google in Aba. Interbedu baby no. Obe body didn't as a ChatGPT. And as a Meta AI here WhatsApp used to say, who is Reverend Amishadai? He was a former GRA commissioner who found himself in a scandal and ran away from Ghana with his family. To the extent that you were putting the man's flight itinerary online and giving times of travel
with his passport details.
How can we be so wicked? Medemanuesi,
medase papa penny bia. Prof, ordinary bi enyuma o Ghana ha pa. Na me money din. O say, Nana ya kese the cardinal. A Ghanaian doing business in Ghana. You need a turbo engine heart. Unless God is in control. saa pani a meken ne nnwuma a mimi nim se obiebie ni nyina no opani ro okura nnwuma be nson esi a menyi ni se ba kompokura ho Prof Kofi Ajekum opening
say anga doc ono expert in governance and papa we do frabem na ye table so no mo nkrata na me no say den kwa kenkan no na oka ho asem me young kenkan ensensan ne ma se me cry den ga me use highlighter me nyan yes a ne ma bi a me fa free mo say but obeto honorable kwesi akwa Brana
Bacho da bimba no ko.
Now on a producer. Na satam no nyina na oka se opani Ghana enye yi o oka na ma parents e maza. David Ghana be yi. Mento ma engo mu se enye yi de. Nanso ato bi a wutie nsem no bi ana obisa ho se enti Ghana be yi ni. The students say me bisa on so prof ebeye binum say prof enye omom kan say ebeye no ma bisa me say ye de hwanum na be mana ye no bi say say yan am nipa on pa disuanzo pe na ohwe mu pa yan ye diga na bro no yan ya ku school e basse obi afeska yan ya ku school obi tre bibia fo obi ho yan ya ku school obi afa kwantia bi so ayeye yan ya ku school onte se koko ni bi owo sehwi ana penche ni ana ayom so ba bi akoye seida ana obi odua banche e wo central region enti yan ya yese ya ku school ye je hu di se ye nim nwoma ya say ya logic nti ya the way to way ho a ye hu say the way can way ho a now ti way free mo a e say ma way no ya the x ne y ne axis no hwan kekani nyina bom na ya the bracket ato figures bi ho na ya theories bebre ya na edi o man ya wu be ye paper bi on political line ti mehwe etro
okay
na behwe na bibi ba metrim sa etro kra ne de akanfo ka etro a tie me a hotro say a hotro
slippery
na notro it is a notro na don so literally slippery say asam no eto ho a
e be slipo
entumi ntra ho ese a wetri na ko ba bi foforo na eye etro just ne a all can nyesa na ese tie enam se entumi antra na num ho anche ninti no apa e ko ba bi foforo
e ho so otro nti
ani number bia na enye nokre enokre de ye ano plus kre ano na ye ba ko ti se na ya kese woni ye kase so can be kire ye wa ha na kodru Roman father fia ade na o kan ye no ese o ka sa asem na Roman ho nyesa o kodru so fo pani na nim ti na bia na nim hu ne nyame su awo no munti no so na me kan piece in there me nyeta ho kakra na me kan wa ha
ende adwumanti na me kan sa
adwumanti na me kan na wonye nokwafo isan say wano esesa iti omo eti asem prekope na odi se o asem na ani o maso papa ni dua mu se mi kura mu ani asebu amanfi ana ayi anyotofo no ba ko se de ponko ana nantwie ni dua no anka ho no anka ne to no a wo konfo no na wo ye tu ne ye de ma na wo de ye nsenkyere ne enka wo nso nsem sa eda bi beba bodua no e be free nsem wanye mu kra wo bewu eja ho nti se ye bibi atia ye nua
wo ne de sie okra so oba project ho
oba project ye bibi atia ye nua sa na ya na ese ye hwe ne se nti de me de ye obi se me na obi de sa ye me a ebe me de ti o de pin o pese o de obi a di nka fa hye wo kokromoti no on sada na me a fa pin no wo ho na uti wi dia ni bakro no obeti wi wo de no ube miem it is a wa kan wi dia na ode koye obi no dwene ho mie no na oben sam trafo ne niam bia ya omoye ne to bia odwene ho a wonte ase mbenifo se mframa de hu pade a
onya
ne nsanka hu mete se mframa afa pa ne yeda oni nam wiem no obubu nuanko na pade nso da fom din nti ya minhu mirika ye tua nti se ye te asem a ye ntie mu yie ebenfo wo baby se sushefa ye mua o si dan na o ya na opagam na abase o boso a o de chance bi beto efa ha na kwatena no o de obehunu kwatena ne dam
mfimfini de no
mfimfini dua tenten na dam tu wie ha na wa bewie efa ha afa na okope chance na wo twa na se cap no na o de abeto o ya fankwa na so mawie ni bua nsuo ta ebe fonema
na ye bambu nso a wo wie a why ni me nya afi na wo kope bre
e de abeto so
abebua no
eti say o ya sam training ma papa o sense am training a say ye kan e be kan ho a on ti asem e wo fa baako na wonya wadwen so de manya de eno aye as ya to twene baby isan say adwuma no na wonte ase isan say mo adwuma menyen sam training ne mum entete ade amma me e wo mama mbrem say sushefa emuya mente entina asem si a ye ma nipa no bonkro obia kana asem if say do obedin ka aka no obeka mra ye da obe say ene say akoba kono eno oni asem o
ene say ekunu ne ya kra free ho
oh minhum bi kra da no ya National Peace Council man prusi ni kusase fo asem no minhum bi ya ne kadna no ne mauvinum first group no memom din omo ba gukuada omo to a omo asem so free omo nanano abakosem ne se ne asase no beye omo dia na henie ne ya ne ho obi asintra se na se na asem no tie ne nkofo ba ko no so omo kontokwa hunu ti aja ya tre ya secretary wa training nyina to ne ya twa na de kye na omo mbeba ya wada na na ya ombae omso so a om de egu o na fe ye obi a confused se ntinkofo mienu
pa na
ka no krepa o mu no enti se ye gina om di nka ba okuada no so a na ye didi nkofo ba ko na temanka edi o matehu enti se o ye nsantrani a o te se otemuafo ana ohini bi a odi asem ana busuan pani bi a wabusuan mumienu we ya beka na sem na we ya beka na sem ese onya botre na wutie mu but yeah nsem trafo minim ba bi a mutum ni kako na abase no ni background na onyi ntum kra se ne oye no wanye ne ye na papa ya sese ye de na to tankru we mu mbanifo se dem to adru ensign nru obi toan keka ho nsem esopaw ese wudini ekodru baabi a na ekire ya te se report ya ba ya niam bebre nya no kure baabi a entoa no kodru ye se ru kodru ye no paper we nru ho but ora eja kodi o kan bibi kura o se ete se watutu akokɔ ntakra na mframa abogu na waye wadwen se oh me se sane nyina na me de akokɔ na beto ho na me de takra bia tua ba bia da just a confirm no chine betimi aye we just offer takra na yes na one na chi anaasɛ ɛwɔ ne nkyɛn mu benkum so anani
ananebo
anane na ɔno kwa de ɔse ntakra na ebogu yɛ no wobɛduru baabi na obi abubi di nu nasom eti de di nu nasom no de ebu twene yɛ na wei a okɔfa de ato aso na wo de abesi ne hene fa eti yɛ sɛ obi a saa na yɛ sɛ yɛ adwene sɛ nea yɛka koduru ya sɛ nokora bi ba mu ɛkyerɛ yi a anhwɛ yi a na yɛntumi ankɔsan ne tiri sɛ o deɛ kan ne deɛ yɛka no wa yɛnka obi ho asɛm waa ɛnyɛ dame ase a yɛdidi atɛm nti na ɔhene nto dame no was dame ase lances no wɔ hɔ no wotumi to wonto asɔre kwasiampani kwantinto papa bi wɔ mkrom no sɛ ntutu wonim sɔre kɔ Johnson panimu a ɔsɔre a na ɔda ɔno ana hu sɛ yɛsɛ bra ɛsɛ mkɔ Johnson ni ɛde ɔpa kyerɛ sɛ wote sɛ abɔfra da me ase deɛ saa nneɛma no si de woyɛ ɔhena na wasonsɔn ho ɔsɛ nkwara na yɛpɛ wa ɛto so ɔno wode ho kɔma da me a ɔba nsɛntwerɛ adwuma mu a da ɔbɔ adwuma mu a ɛnte sɛ da me ase asɛm a ɔka bi ɛfa ho di because ɛba saa na lances a ɛwɔ atem didi ho yɛde ama obiara nti wotim didi atem nti ɛdeɛ bɛn na yɛyɛ yɛn ayɛ ho ɔmo yɛ wei nyinaa bɛka sɛ ɔmo akɔ school ebinom ayɛ journalism aduru akyiri ene kura distance abane ade ebinom abobɔ degree ahodoɔ akeka ho it is saying na nwoma sua ɛde brɛyɛn okokwa nkoma pɛ so a na so afɔ ne ade na ebinom enko school any O level kra enso na ɔde ɔmu bu man no ɛma ɔmu tumi yɛ nea ɛsɛ na ɛfata sankrofo no so no mo ma sika ni di ɔmu trim sɛ agye sɛ menya sika ansa na ma yɛ wei na de ɔmu pɛ ne sɛ me kromfo ne me mainstreamfo betumi aka sɛ me ma yɛ wei ɛna yɛ ma sika di etrim no ɛna obi twere bibi a ɔhwɛ sika a obenya na otumi ate asɛm no ama nipa na so ɔpɛ sɛ ɔbɔ no ho ban a otumi abɔ no ho ban sɛ sɛ ɔsɛn no nso de a nipa na ɔbɔ no ho ban no ɛbɛ ma ne sika ma ɔde asɛ obi na oyi ɔfɔ nsa na wahwɛ ne yie ɛnɛ deɛ uti sɛ ɔwɔ ahoɔden ɔte brɔfo ɔwɔ nimdeɛ ɔwɔ adagye a wobɛtumi asiri pɛ ɛde asɛ obi ɛbrɛ bi bɛba yɛbɛka so miawani nagye atre mienu miawani o nagye atre mienu ensuo nom krampo no utra yɛ agye sɛ yɛde fa bibim duro baabim ɛna yɛde ama ɛbɛduro baabi na ofiefo ɛprewuo sɛ deɛ dure deɛ kra anka ɔkɔya ankɛyɛ ɛmso ɔmunya
wagye dan abɔso
onso wagye dan abɔso ɛmkora nso da petom eti yɛyɛ bibi ne bia ɔkyena sɛm ɛna sɛm de yɛnim nea ɛbɛsi ɔkyena obia nim uncertainty eti yɛ bɔ yɛ brɛ bia ɛsɛ ɛnu di etrim sɛ na ɔkyena te sɛ Professor Abraham Odum bi ɔse sɛ wokɔda na wansɔre a obi misɛ nyame asɛm awtimi nka nkyɛ nyame sɛ ada na da bia me da ya no ama nyame wama nyane na nyame ɛyɛ dɛn na ne deɛ me da ebi sɛ ni hɔ
na ugina hen na obi sɛ
ugina hen pɔ ɛna wokɔ bi sɛ nyame eti ɔma ɔmo gyiri sɛ ne ɔmo gyina hɔ no o me gyina me na so mete brɔfo betumi akeka brɔfo bensia abobom a wo kan no kra wampɛ Oxford ana long months a ontim saa no brɔfo no soso a ɛna me de sɛ obi a ɛbɛyɛ nipa kro ya oyɛ saa no no nya de Jessica no nyina now de fato baby ebre bi beba on kai kra so wo sika wo baby ebre bi bedra ya do sika ni nyina kra besi wo dem ya yide wo bank ahodo du ni nyina ya de abesi wo dem a unya ni kra na wo de ahwe ti masre nsɛmtwerɛfo a maba no nyɛ saa na mo mpanimfo a di nsɛmtwerɛ anim owura kwasi dɔnkɔnom ne ɔmo a yɛtete ɔm din nyɛ saa na ɔmo yɛyɛ na yɛi momo pɛi so deɛ ɛfoa wei nyina ho sɛ ɔman no mu akyɛ mmienu MPP NDC nti nea meyɛ in background yɛ NDC ni nti sɛ meyɛ na me sopa no na wɔsɛe a manka sɛ menya mo me de me tam akɔbɔ NDC fo anim nti sɛ weyɛ MPP ni na yɛnya no yi ɛne wama wiase koraa nkɛyɛ yɛbɛsɛ na ɛfiri no soro abɛsi no ɔyɛ saa no na wɔnya deɛ ma party na ɔma bɔ paa sɛ obi no ma mfom sika nyinaa ma wo na wo de agye afɛsie menka sɛ wobɛdi amana so wo deɛ boano agu hɔ a dakoro nipa na otumfo na ɔdo ba asase so no bɛka sɛ masa bɛsen kɔ obra so bɛsen kɔ na deɛ yɛ a ɛyɛ wo m sɛ saa nipa yi ɔmtwatwa nsɛm fa nkɔfoɔ ho nyinaa dodoɔ na ɔnyɛ kramoni a na ɔyɛ kristoni ɔnyɛ kristoni a na ɔsom yɛ nanam no som bi nti yɛnyam som paa ani sɛ yɛbɛtwitwa yɛ nuanom nantini asɛ wɔm
paabubu
asɛ nkɔfoɔ adwuma na sɛ Ghana ha sɛ woyi ɔmo yɛ aban adwuma na yɛ kakra bi o hwɛ despite nkoa nipa a wafa wɔn anya ban ne tua wɔn ka kɔ media baako no
hello FM ana multimedia
hwɛ kan city nom
kɔ City FM
na kɔ City FM
kɔ Angel
o da hwɛ ɔmo a yafa ɔmo wɔ journalism mu nkoa radio TV reporters a atwa ɔman ho hyia anya ban ne tua ɔmo ka na hwɛ ankrankra nnwuma ɔmo real estate a mesin ni sɔre a onim sɛ me fa me troway ne me Sofia anya hwɛ me ba fi a sɛ ne yɛbɛma biribi adi anya ɔmo anka aban ko antumi nyɛ bibia enti sɛ wo hwɛ no na hwɛ ɛmayɛ egu mɔkɔla ɔmo kantamanto ɛne ɔmo edwa ahodom no nya ban na de ɔmo akɔtentra hɔ ɔmo na ɔmo yɛ ɔmo adwuma enti kaya yo a onim sɛ anya hwɛ obi ba bɛ tɔ nneɛma obi bɛ tɔ nneɛma mɛso afiri akɔ ne kaa ho no ɔno nso ni bakro na ma na adwuma enti wo yɛ ɔmanbɔfo na wo te baabi na wo se obi adwuma wo bɛgu na ɛbaba wa so ama wo so a ɛbɛyɛ nnome aba wo wabusua wo yire no ma nananom ebi a momo deɛ mo so ano a enye yie de waso no ontie de atwere no ɛka na me de sia awe am bɛka de enka
Prof Wauba Kabila Cardinal, what stops the affected party from chasing the so-called honorable member in the chamber of parliament to teach him what honor, shame and dignity mean? Until we elect to ourselves to hold every public office bearer to account, we are going nowhere. Talking about lies, slander and misinformation, the following words of Most Reverend Dr. J.S.A. Stevens, a past president of the Methodist Church, are apt to capture. Misinformation and malicious rumor mongering that have earned us a generation who do not know how to appreciate their own greatness and their own achievement. People with weak morals and backward disposition do not read for truth. The monger, and with their mouth, they tear themselves and beloved nation apart, throwing their nation's legacies to the wind, only to gasp for death in poverty. Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe Jr. Kabila, we call him. Now, Charles Techibuadu, or say, Openia Jekum is talking to a lot of unscrupulous journalists and media practitioners in this country. Very, very apt advice. Most have thrown caution and conscience to the wind and are pursuing viciousness with our stomachs leading us. Charles Techi Buadu. Nana Okese. Business in Ghana. Some of these things you are discussing this morning has made me lose my contract. And trust me, it is very difficult for me these days. And this man who sent this message is somebody. Open OUB, no UB. Not OUB. But
Din bakrono.
Abasa.
Nana yo.
Papa.
Obai the numa do bekan say miam pa mini. Say ohwe baby a no free. The baby obetru. And the other man we reach bakono say nipa mfam to so. Onyame be you ano.
Nipa
mfam to so. Ma de man nipa kan de ombekan bia.
Na gina yie.
Gina wo mudie mu pintin se minim sade a ye de to mesu yi. Menye. Nyame te ase.
Ebeye. Nyame te ase according to Professor Kofi AJ Kum. Make us say akasima aduonu enson na abodu baako. Dr. Andra, mi mom de minyan pa nkensam amaka na ha no pay. Ka obi anfa bibia nka ho but minim de wadwen ye wo.
Na na answer na ebe kono. Saturday 24 hours, Sunday 24 hours. Minya light 4 hours. Okani nyina boma 48. Minya light 4 hours. Nyame na ye me dance ni. Me na na mti heyo. Me na yo. Say there's actually a report I actually say for the past 120 years. Say afi e show na haba no e soronko. Maybe twem na ye ka say oh me ntwa nnua na mom ye nnua nkomo for another day. Say ya shada pa e twa nnua say no in the name of Galamsey. E no dey another story. Ya nka say ya shada twa nnua no say no. Na ekoba ne say see Penny onum adobe aba o said
mena adobe ba na sebe wa hwe to answer oza kotopa enko yam sanye hwe se na e call no
sada
beba tu bebre enti ahokyira ba ye nipa and it is part of life say ye do baby na ye say ye nka ne asem enko ye ye nyentum. It is only when you accept that there's a challenge and I'll be to me a solution. Enti ade no yet ye ho ase ne ye say bibi nti eniama nko yi a let's admit and find solutions. Say ye be kire ase de sabi o chi am roba kra o wonchire ase ana o nchire mu enti bebi akane asem no ekono say ento wa obeka say sabi obi eto adansesem na ahokyere wo economic hardship pa se obi nyame na dwom no waye nkwan na kakra aka no kra medisie na ochina maka no hiadi kania ni honti nkwan na sei obi tomatoes kakra ofa sesia utumi ntomoko utumi ntonyadoa nya obenya tokura so esa enyu ani nyina nkamfu ano na obe bra na wedu anajo na wantumi answer anda wo so ya no pass ya bo ebia sipenyo. Let's learn from our past. Se nkofo nyuma guyi kan ye ni honti ye nyina na ebetumi ato generator no kura auto a se na ebe ya obetumi anya sika ato fa nwodi agum mana so agina so eno so ya another thing. Enti ye nhwe kwan e fa so ha ye betumi asiesie kan ye tada bia say nipa na asema wo ka no anka ye no kura ba kwan a wo fa so a wo ka no say energy minister yes you mate ono abo safmafo say obi betumi aboa me the timetable aba na ye energy minister na ya safmafo na kan energy minister so say wo a wo why wadwen say wo pe dum so timetable ko ye wo de yen kasasa o yen kasasa
mate Dr. Angra
dabio o fe ECG amekase transformers na say
abotre
wa ni ti ya koso nti wo wani tua ensuo kura ye be pompe aba fie electricity o
ti de meka
na mo nyina mo yimani afi grid ko so no jambotre mesrew
ti de me meka nka uti anka be
grid ko obi anka ma semo na da bia na ECG grid ko mo chemfimfiri o mo ye den o mo ni o mo de ba na ECG e chema me no Ne anyone ECG. Great co nti omo ye adwuma no. What is happening? Every single thing now is dependent on energy. All sectors. From classroom, when a job, but energy. Let's solve it. Nienya say ye chiremu no, enchiremu no yadoso.
Enchiremu no yadoso according to Dr. Ankra. Dennis.
Raho. We for no. KPMG for you one way na affect me. Especially me kind sa
Okuja to there.
I think that he needs to do the honorable thing. First of all, that post no your Twitter was quite specific. Say Papa ne dwane because of SML. I think say I fear when we say Papa no we dwane. In fact, the GRA for release statement, Sada no release or yes, Sada and say Papa no we're taking a normal leave. And oko nti wakwaba nso. Nti be me feel senka okoba ya won say wakwaba no. You can just come back to your Twitter post and say, oh, I didn't make because the level of privacy intrusion, quite fast or run in private space, the passport details, they are there, you know. And your friend says, we are saying, so, and then I make us say, Ankadia be Nanka immediately. Ubia Obe be in a rush, Biano. Nanka Obe Petro. And let's also be fair. It's not as if it's a report, no. I say, be aware, some whom be a congruent.
Sure.
Report no clearly indicated certain aspects they feel say it should be handled well. And into kind of my present recommendation say other activities and GRA for the moment no. My mom for mom be. And I even rate in the crowd almost say I feel the money and effects in there. And see reporting in here but the deliberate attempt to run individuals down. For me, I think it's I'm just reading kind say another group almost some danger pa some of the civil society organizations. Almost another group of danger pa. Assassins. Buy like an army form. Assassins. Openings do can bring you down. I'm telling you. Say Ghana, if you are in the public space, one when you are that crowd. If you are in the public space, and I me can't tell me MC here 2020. Maybe one journalist sending me WhatsApp message say sorry, I did publishing here because I'm doing the I'm telling you, on our conversation, we are sending me Momo. Oh. 1,005 say, men publishing.
Ebia unimunti no kachiro, nti so unimuwa.
Unimunti no frame kache. I was sending a screenshot BBA. Nti ye told me BBA for 1,005. Oh. Now there you are quite say, the para to the boys and what chichira seven. And other quarters. Oh, I have to say, to me a child. If you say a relationship in a uncle 70, or no be sending me say, Sally, issue I idea been you. Just say, I should have friendly punish demo, penny. Near brainwash. Grow almost should have civil society organizations, they be more hard. Obien himself, we are mercenaries. Obien himself, we are dear. There are very good ones, very, very good ones. But women don't we mercenaries, a fresh them, and said, you're passing ye near Chichara Seminam. What's say the panel? We say, we are. Send no crab bet you, send no crab bet you, for those looking for the status update, this was 3rd January 2024. And the first match, for those of you looking for a status update on the SML affair, whereby Ghana has hired a timber merchant to fix fraud for $1 billion fee, here you go. We also reiterate our caution to KPMG to be very careful about the reputational pitfalls. For the record, key civil society activists probing this SML contract reject the president's decision to ask KPMG to do a rushed review of Ghana's decision to hire a timber merchant of a fee that could top $1 billion over time in the name of auditing commodity exports. You see the emphasis on timber merchant, the deliberate attempt to plant Adiano in the minds of people to make it look like a timber merchant. You cannot have a business, you cannot have an audit firm. Oh, it's hard deliberate and it runs through. And then finally, in fact, along the line.
But they okay in United.
Oh, maybe some medication. And now, baby, 22nd January, I say 3 weeks ago, Ghana's president told KPMG to spend 2 weeks looking into the SML scandal. He also suspended execution of the SML project. GRA wrote to the president last week that SML says suspension no good. This means the president directive was just ignored. What they go on. It was a deliberate attempt to set the people. Yes, in the past 3-4 months. Finally, report in the buy. They tell you position of society activists, civil society activists, their position on the release of the report. A, release the full KPMG report. 2, we dispute claims that any increase in volume of petroleum consumption is due to SML. C, we want SML services stopped until new contracts are agreed. D, we accept the idea of fixed fees only in principle. You see, these guys, say, if
guys, no.
Oh, where Bryce Simmons say, and you're more. Obia they are wrong. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Nyansa, I am telling you, say, I tell you in everything I believe in. I may not be an economist, I may not be a chemist, I may not be a biologist, but unim nyansa and say me.
Dennis,
unim nyansa and say me.
Dennis, tobo. Dennis na me minimum. Enye wuni enko me ba tie
mami wrap it up
wrap it up but dem so make can say tie tobo Dennis tie mayu peneje kum na kire me o say ye ni ohene bone but ye o chia me bone wi ase Dennis na me minim wo no emfa ya wo nko ba bia wo ko no Debbie Dennis did make catch no say mayu still hour off air it dey wo kan nyina ma and dey wo kan nyina ma me say Dennis Tobo
ayawdie ba homene maso nanum
openi waka fate
it's no special eyes prof but me do apple
finally no
what's up how you
oh there be say me movie officer we no report in buy no they na you expecting say wo tro sansem we nyina wie no a report na ba no anka at least even if you have other concerns about the report obedi kan aka say I ebusuafo omomode investigative idea by so misleading. Some of the commentary me make here no was based on investigative piece no. I think say me commentary ni bi o higher than anko yi inti me twisan report na ba de na mo mampani ye pesa wo de KPMG full report ni den eba wo wi a report na fa bi wo ho so ye na wo ye den
enya
adwen sa na me dwen say in every civil community and society ese normal nemum wunya niama na ugu hwanya mpia no ento nchen na won pretend say ensi wanka na won sanso me make further demands. You can't be making further demands when war ade bi ese say which sign won pa ho chew enti now no he is pretending as if say do ye ni na wanye ena won say ma medika kai na manokra ensi say eba be omo me pa chew Now you are dictating to the president what you are demanding without you going back. I don't want Ghana for now. SML for no more for Ghana for or right be seen your money and I will view no as so see your mom there na and now because what the title be at all say we are civil society won na wo view o kasa wo wadwene bro bia de so na apologize to the man.
Apologize to the man, according to Dennis Miracle. A belated happy birthday to Mrs. Amma Dankwa Chumesi, a teacher at Atunsu MAJHSA. May the good Lord continue to bless you from your brother Mark Adai, aka Marcus, and also a belated one to Dr. Upuku, Medical Superintendent of Kokrokoo Government Hospital. May God continue to bless you. Also from Mark Adai, aka Marcus. Professor Kofi Ejekum. Prof, Papa.
Maybe I wait.
Okay, Prof. Pajo. Dennis also had to apologize on live TV. A few months ago,
I did.
He made some comments that were untrue.
Yes, and I did.
Patrice Amagashi.
Me, yeah.
And, oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, me, yeah. And I have no, you see, that's not even the first time. I think I've had to do that twice. In fact, there was a day, nkurɔfoɔ bi kɔ edit video bi for esedum ketea omo edit alter video no omo doctor video na me share. I pulled it down. I went back on Twitter and I apologized. Na say minimum nyansa wo.
Because you were misled. Just asem ya o pese o fa chire won de ba.
Minimum nyansa ne o.
Minimum so nyansa tira me frɛ. Minimum so nyansa tira me frɛ. Prof.
Yes sir.
Prof me into apo.
Obia wo baby a ne nyansa wo.
Any baby a kopem.
Any baby a kopem. O wade bi mu nyansa. We say nema bebre wa me ni hu nyansa.
O na hu nsan ni hu nimde mpo.
Ni hu nimde. Nti o frɛ me amaka kyerɛ o pense mesra wa. Me nyansa enuru ha.
Economics.
There may no O level as a private candidate. And I may call an A level self tuition. It me nya pass ya me de by university na se basa.
Me do we.
Enti no ho. At ya na mafutuo ne se nipa bia se usuro dibimma. Se na ya nim dibim. Se wa ye obi bibi na oh we there entwe ye mesrewa dibim. Adeche na wasa akoye we so na so mesrewa dibim. Enti ubetumi amma dibim akoduru henefa. Se usuro dibim ma ususu bebia odona besie. Na wasusu bebia wano. So aboa no na no wasane a ontimi nidi ntra ehye etu ususu baabi a wo ka sɛm a ɛbɛkɔ akoduro na wasusu o transem a baabi a akoduro na baabi a mo de na mo ref kakra nsɛm trani bi nyame mfa ne kra nsie o trepa papa panimu ɛna ɔkɔtre bibi fa honorable hackman osu agyeman ho ɛna papa no ekotwa ne damage na djuma gui ni pepa na otwere ntumi amba bio yene ni sia na ose obi me fam papa na yin this leading no oni pakro bi na de asem no bre no say eye krogin pa atinye bia ni ho ono so suhye fa me kan wan fa kire misa se te say no de be born front page asam no ba ya yesu no wantumi ansa amabio ebi kura na no ho awerɛho enma ne nkwa so te do ye bibia na wadwene ho mienu enkwara de omo nwene niema ho mienu enti odidi watam kura emfa ho se ne papa don onim de kokusie na se omen hwese na ye ba ya asem yenko na ye kan niema bi o hanke betumi aka na ya mi wie no nipa bonefo ba ko tena memu a ofa obi ayakoa nipa bonefo ba ko pe o yeso wa kobraka ewuram na ese nana eboda wuro ni esitwene so na obi a dre bia ne pe obi na yire bia ne dia besi o ese nana efre ye koya se akwara kobura da wura mu mi enkohwe no wafa obi ayakoa enti nsam trefo a mun susu mu niema yen mun timi mfa oman no nyakwada manuel nana
ana ma yema professor nana opoku agima ma ni trinkwa anyway say ya outdoor no
o me tie me new
that me say wo nom bia kakra
me nom say wa onim say meta maso ntra
me say yema professor nana opoku agima ma ni trinkwa
pacho
na ma science papa bi asend ni miska kakra say me mfa nko so tube nko ma fade okan
inti bonidi na danase
ya danase Mr. Eko Addison ya minshirawo ya minshirawo
danase pa
inti mu amaka ne ye be shia
mo no stapon okay and then the birthday we see my mother
oh pacho wa bonidi na mama
inti oye correct ma inti Nabuchi and then about happy birthday na weekend we just about miss party in there everybody so we are near very important man now
mo ko dia mo frɛ no
we energy sector disruption and so in the next few days ebetwum nti yenya bo check akaka bi and ECG board chairman my indication in the next few days no ebetwum and it's good news if anka if in 1992 you kwa hoche ma ya kwa idea no 10 weeks here nka me say nke bede nyamias ene a movie from 4 years to 10 weeks crisis. Kakra ka ebe fit 10 weeks in yakọ 2 weeks. You might find see a year through. Nti enya bote kakra. E ha dwen be enya bote.
Yenti anoma no so. See.
Obedi. Me yonku bi. O say men kan kire o say mo. Wo di fie nyansa. Any school nyansa ka bom. Na sene a usi ye no no. Then ni je ho ye friend Patrice Amagashi. Oso da wase.
Enzo mo dance. O kan obi antia o ko
That is why we be drinking.
Sandra Elfia Boatma and Ewa Oda Sandy. Happy birthday. Once again to the CEO Amalina Children's Haven and say Amma Enchiwa. I was saying the Mosio. And then me be a kakra. Mo sam wi bi ache. Mo am nyum bi kakra na mi ase me o bi a menumu eni. E from na na ya okese. Me Catholic gidie hia me nti u hia me anu afre me the cardinal. Oh. Ale go poku.
Some are really go hate you, and some are really go love you. You mean what I'm living in the
Dr. Father Dixon, Kennedy Asante says, so for Kojo Asante, Stephen Balfour,
some are really
Isaac Opoko Pretty Joy, so they ain't got Kwame Yaboa, Madam Astipa, Semubo Michito.
That is why we be drinking all the
Kofi Kumbelson, the royal baby.
when we will go right to heaven. All my friends will be drinking all the beer. Hey, 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 hey. We don't wanna know about that, mama.
And on the mobile track of Mr. Premo Beto. Premo to Acacia Bono Beba. Namamin Fanchas Ronco, Emma Mia, me offer. Or the Munyam for Boache Shamating Jaco. Of a Jaco of Azamba Library, Meba Library. Once again, your friend and I are cast away to your friend the cardinal, me the radiasum, Ejamunina Macramo.